All right, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the Lightforce podcast, episode number 19. I am Noah. This is Laney, as always. How we doing this week?
Fantastic. Had to keep that going. And you've got the Fantastic Four shirt on, so it's fitting. I'm doing
Fitting.
great. I know your sister had a birthday the other day, and I just want to wish her a happy birthday personally because I love her. Love her so much. Did she have a good birthday?
I would think so. I didn't
Did you
ask
get
her,
her
did you
anything?
have a good birthday? No, because Christmas is in 2 weeks. We've had this dilemma for years.
Okay.
She's
Yeah,
getting
December
stuff for
babies have it
Christmas.
rough, don't they?
She's getting stuff for Christmas.
Okay,
There's stuff right in
sure.
that closet. I would say it
You
has her
gave her a
name on it,
hug, didn't
well,
you?
that's different.
He's like, I'll give her a hug, and
Yeah,
that'll
there's
be
stuff
it.
right in that closet. It hasn't been wrapped yet, but it'll get
Okay.
wrapped. You know what else is in that closet? Your Christmas gifts. Oh, all right.
Ooh.
Can't wait. Can't wait. Christmas episode next week, guys. I'm already brushing over this week's episode. Really excited for
Shoot.
next
Are we
week.
supposed to have our presents to each other by next week? We
Oh, I
are
didn't know we were.
trusting.
I didn't know we were unboxing these on the podcast.
I wasn't sure, but then, like, now that I think about it, do we really trust the United States Postal Service to get it there in a week?
Not
We might
in the
be in a
month of
dilemma
December.
here. We might be
Not
in
in the
a
month of
dilemma here.
December. Not in the month of
No.
December.
Maybe
Maybe
we
we'll
can, you know
just
what? We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. All right.
we'll just like take a picture and make a post or something. I don't.
Okay, sure.
Just to get, I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Figure
Okay,
it out
okay,
first.
okay.
But yeah. Anyways, guys, before we get into all the news this week, we had a pretty stacked episode. Some list of bullet points here, which we're gonna get to. Be sure to go follow the Life Force Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. If you're watching here on YouTube, be sure to hit subscribe, drop a like, and yo, the hype points. I always forget about this, but I know you shouted it out before. But I forget that it's like a new feature YouTube
Mm-hmm.
has. Those hype point things that you guys could do. I guess it helps the videos, helps the channel. So feel free to utilize those.
I think it's
Uh,
still a thing.
no,
I
it
think it's
definitely
still a
is
thing.
still a thing. I
Mhm.
think my camera tracking's on. I don't want this thing to start
I
moving
think it's
while
mobile only, the mobile device only, the hype points thing. But
might
yeah,
be,
that
might
always
be.
helps. It always helps.
Utilize that if you're watching on YouTube. If you're
Hmm.
listening on Apple and Spotify, just be sure to give us a follow and a rating as well. Always helps out. But where do you want to start this week? We got some movie theater news. There's obviously the Netflix Warner Brothers stuff. We got some
Mm.
trailers. We got some casting stuff. Plenty to talk about this week. So the floor is yours. I don't know if you have the notes in front of you, but or I can.
No, I think I got it. It's all up here. I think we
That's the
should
whole
start.
podcast, guys.
There's a lot to talk about as far as DC. I
All
think we
right.
should start with Warner Brothers and Netflix.
All right, so I tried to
Yeah.
write down the simplest and latest on the whole thing. So obviously, it's been a hot conversation online this week about Netflix potentially buying Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers have been taking offers for a little while now. I don't know if it goes back as far as the summer, but I know it's been maybe a month or two that they've been taking offers from some places and even shot down, I think, Paramount a couple of times with their offers. But I tried to get the latest thing that we were up to speed when we were talking about this. So just my little synopsis here that I wrote. Netflix agreed to buy Warner Brothers Discovery's film studio and streaming assets for $82.7 billion, but there is some things, I guess, complicating it, if you will. Paramount launched, and I don't even know what some of this means. Paramount launched a hostile takeover bid for the whole Warner Brothers Discovery company. And regulators, whoever they may be, are concerned about antitrust issues, which I guess, there's antitrust laws there. So obviously they're trying to pigeonhole something with Netflix. And then antitrust issues potentially delaying or blocking the merger. Warner Brothers Discovery is spinning off cable channels like CNN, while Netflix plans to keep Warner Brothers theatrical releases, integrating them with streaming. So a lot of mumbo jumbo there. But the point of me saying that is a deal isn't necessarily done, although Netflix made an offer, intends to buy Warner Brothers. Paramount's basically trying to say nah for this, that, and the other reason. And Paramount, I think, is still trying to make a bid to buy Warner Brothers overall. A lot of discussion this week online regarding this. A lot of people think Netflix, what did I just say? A lot of people think Netflix is the devil and is coming to crush movie theaters and is coming to ruin everything you love about the movie theater experience. I feel a little bit indifferent on this. I could see an argument on both sides. I obviously love the movie theater experience. I also think there is room for improvement in the movie theater experience. And I don't think Netflix is necessarily out to crush the movie theater entire existence. But obviously, if they do buy Warner Brothers, they're probably going to try to make some changes for at least the stuff, the IPs that Warner Brothers owns.
I think people have a good reason to be afraid for the movie theater experience with Netflix buying Warner Brothers, because the CEO, or one of the CEOs of Netflix himself, said he sees movie theaters as a dying art. He doesn't think that the average moviegoer wants the movie theater experience. He thinks that moviegoers want to sit at home in the comfort of their own home and watch movies. That is not good. As far as, even just with us, we love movie theater experiences. I think the
Mm-hmm.
average moviegoer does love a movie theater experience. I would say that someone that doesn't enjoy a movie theater experience isn't an average moviegoer. You know what I mean? Like, they're not someone
Sure.
that frequents movie theaters. So are they the average movie enjoyer? I don't know. But we obviously can't speak for everyone. But I think that is a bad thing that he said that. That makes it make sense that people have these concerns about, oh no, now we might see a lot of Warner Bros. Projects. They have the rights to a bunch of big IPs like DC, like Lord of the Rings, and a couple others that I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But that could mean that we don't get as many projects in theaters as we would have before Netflix bought Warner Brothers. So I understand why people are concerned about it, but I'm not sure when that quote came out from the CEO of Netflix. That could have been years ago. I don't think it was like a few months ago. I think it was a little bit ago.
Sure.
Obviously, that could have changed within between when he said that and now. Do I think that Netflix is going to stop releasing DC movies, Lord of the Rings projects, all these big IPs in theaters? No, I don't think so. It's still a source of money. It's still a source of income. I don't think that's going to happen. But I understand people's concerns. I really do.
I get people's
Um,
concerns too. Like you were saying, the CEO or whoever it was of Netflix saying, again, whether it was years ago or not, saying that the movie theaters are a dying breed. I mean,
mhm.
I'm not going to necessarily say he's wrong. Like, even before this whole week of Netflix potentially buying Warner Brothers, like, this was already a topic of conversation. I remember us talking about it, maybe it was during the summer when Fantastic Four is coming out. Like, the people who are just wait for streaming and are like, I'm not going to go to the theaters. I'll just wait till it comes out on stream. Like, they kind of inadvertently hurt the movie in theaters, because how many times we hear something like, oh man, this movie didn't perform well in theaters.
And that
And it's
100% happened with Thunderbolts.
and the
Absolutely.
100% happen with Thunderbolts. And listen, there's people who are like that because they're just straight up like, I don't want to go to the theaters. But a lot of people are like that because they're like, I can't afford to go to the movie theaters in
Right.
2025. It's a whole shebang. Like, it's an
Mhm.
investment. Like, tickets, concession, it's not easy anymore.
Yeah.
So, like, I understand somebody being like, the movie theater is a dying breed, and if somebody has ideas to possibly save it, in a
Mhm.
sense, because again, I don't think Netflix, if they do buy Warner Brothers, it's not like just them can kill the entire movie theater.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, whatever you want to call it, movie theaters in general. They're only going to own certain IPs, and obviously Netflix is like the biggest streaming platform there is. So I understand people's concerns. Listen, I love the movie theater experience. Some people may not like the movie theater experience. Some people may go to the movies and they have absolutely horrible times because people are yapping, people are on their phones. We've talked about it before, movie theater etiquette dead in 2025 for the
Mhm.
most part.
Mhm.
So this is why I said I could see both sides of the conversation here, and I don't think it's as simple as Netflix buys Warner Brothers and then RIP movie theater like some people are making it seem online. I don't think
Yeah.
Netflix is absolutely the devil in this situation. I just think they're looking to change
Mhm.
things up, because whether Netflix buys Warner Brothers or not, I could see a 5-10 year from now where movie theaters maybe aren't there.
Yeah,
Like, I don't.
and I think a lot of factors have contributed, like you said, to the average person not wanting to go to the movie theaters to experience a movie for the first time. The largest one being how much it costs to go to a movie theater. For a family of three, for a family of four, it's honestly unbelievable. Tickets alone make it
Mm-hmm.
so that you can't even really get a drink, a snack, whatever for these movies. We've already paid so much money just to get in the door. The concessions You can't even like consider the concessions. If you add in the concessions,
yeah.
it's so much money. So that alone, I think, is the main contributor to people not going to the movies as much as they used to. Whatever movie theaters need to do to get that cost down, I have no idea. We also have inflation, obviously, to deal with. I don't know much about economics, you guys. I can't speak and say, like, they need to drop their prices because there's so much more that go into that than we even know. So there are other things that you can fix, like you said, movie theater etiquette. I planned to go see Five Nights at Freddy's 2 so that I could talk about it with you guys and review it. I've seen a bunch of videos online where the crowd that is pulling up to Five Nights at Freddy's 2 isn't the greatest, and they don't have the best movie theater etiquette. It kind of feels the same as when the Minecraft movie came out, and I just do not want to have that experience, and I don't want it to ruin the experience that I have for the movie when I experience it for the first time. So, and like, fans get excited, like clapping, cheering, that does not bother me.
Sure, it's different than other Avengers, Endgame, people reacting when, Cap catches
and that's like
Mjolnir, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the reason why we love the movie theater experience. It's the crowd reactions that are really fun. Like, you can feel the tension in the room, you can feel the hype in the room, like stuff like that is great. That's why we love movie theaters. But there's an etiquette to movie theaters as well. For example, when I went to Zootopia 2, there was a family in front of me. The adults were watching the movie. The kids, for the entirety of the movie, were crawling around on the ground, literally going around the rows of chairs and talking the whole time and laughing and giggling the whole time. And it's like, dude, if you brought your kids to see this movie, and one, what are you doing? Like, letting them do that. But if they're not even watching this movie, get them the heck out of there. Like, what the heck are you doing? Dude, listen,
when me and my sister went to see Superman over the summer, like that scene of Clark and Lewis talking in Lewis's kitchen and into the living room, like the whole interview scene, that's like a 10-minute scene.
It is?
Basically missed the whole thing because there was like 4 teenagers just yapping behind us.
That's insane.
Until we turned around, we were like, yo! And then it was fine for the rest of the movie. But
I can just see you and kiss, dude. I see you and Carissa, dude. That's so funny.
Dude. I need you guys to shut the fuck up. That's kiss right there.
Yeah, that's insane. It's things like that, that hurt the movie theater experience. But that doesn't mean that movie theaters are a dying breed. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, I read, broke a Thanksgiving release record for a box office record, which is a great thing. And Zootopia is doing fabulous in theaters. So it's not that people don't want to go to the movies. You know what I mean?
It's I think times have changed. It's the money, it's the streaming, it's the movie theater etiquette, like the movie theater experience overall. Although there's so many aspects that we love of it, it's just not what it was when me and you were kids.
Right. And I think that when we reference Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four as examples of people saying, I'll just wait until it comes out in streaming, I think that is a different story because Disney Plus has created that problem themselves. Disney has created that problem. Everyone knows they're going to release it 3 months later. People are going to save money. But another issue is that Marvel's bar for quality of content has
that's a whole
down,
different.
And that's why a lot of people didn't give Thunderbolts a chance. I understand that. We've both agreed with sentiments that say that Marvel is losing their quality over quantity, but this year obviously was a huge step forward for Marvel. Yes, and so that we don't have an issue with that anymore. But I think that also played into people not going to see Thunderbolts, not going to see Fantastic Four. Sure. Do I agree with people that are like, no, I'll just watch it when it's streaming? Like, no, if I want to see a movie, I'm going to go see it in theaters. But I understand that people can't afford it all the time. There's a lot of factors that go into it.
Yeah, and listen, like you just said, like some Marvel movies will come out. Fantastic Four came out, the first week of November? So and it came, on Disney Plus, meaning. And it came out in theaters at the end of July. So if you're that patient, it's only 3 months and some change. And again, like Netflix, all the conversation about Netflix buying Warner Brothers this week, everybody's like, oh, DC movies are going to be in theaters for 2 weeks and then they'll just be on Netflix. What's the point? And I'm just like, well, I don't know. Like maybe maybe they would only put a DC movie, like Supergirl, for example. Maybe they would only put it in theaters for 2 weeks, but then maybe you wouldn't see it on Netflix for 8 months. Like, I don't know what their strategy would be. Everybody's acting like they already have Netflix's answer to the problem. Right. And I just never want to be one of those people because I'm just like, until they give you the answer, I don't want to sit here and complain.
Because, and we again,
and there's a whole nother aspect of like, I think James Gunn contract with DC runs until 2027, which is not that far, obviously. So I think he's safe till then. But there's been conversation about being like, hey, if Netflix buys Warner Brothers, if Paramount buys Warner Brothers, they might have the room to boot James Gunn eventually. And for people like us who just got into the DC, we don't want to see that. Another DC reboot. Even us who haven't even been fans of that franchise for all these years know that they've stopped and started and stopped and started so many times. So that's that's another conversation, another thing to talk about. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. But do I think that's going to happen? No, I really don't. They've seen the success of Superman. James Gunn has an amazing track record, not just for superhero movies, but as a director, and his experiences alone, I think, keep him and his job safe at the time, not just the contract. But I think Netflix,
unless
anybody
really
would
has
be
it
like,
out
James
for him,
Gunn is the guy. Yeah, and if they want to continue to have success with the DC universe, I don't think the hierarchy of the DC universe is going to change. Black Adam reference, everybody.
Hey, that was an okay movie. It was an okay movie, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
Doubt that. I'm not watching that movie. No, I don't believe you.
I saw it in theaters.
I think James Gunn is fine. I think the DC projects that have been announced are fine. Clayface, Supergirl, which we'll get to. Superman, Man of Tomorrow. Is it Man of Tomorrow? That's the second one, right? Yeah. Okay. I think all of those projects that we already know about are safe, but beyond that is a big fat question.
Well, yeah, beyond 2027, which is when Superman Man of Tomorrow is supposed to come out. It's it's a question mark, and like I said while you were talking, like, unless somebody really has it out for James Gunn, hopefully he would just stay in his job. I don't know why anybody would reboot the franchise again.
Right.
But unless James Gunn like made the worst decisions over the next year and a half, like, I don't think that's that big of a topic of conversation. It's a separate topic of conversation, but not something that needs to be focused on right now. But listen, there's still a bunch of question marks surrounding this Warner Brothers thing. Somebody's gonna buy it. It looked like it was gonna be Netflix. Then Paramount said no. Paramount wants their share. I don't know what's going on. We'll find out eventually. And it is a topic of conversation I think we're interested in, because Warner Brothers has a lot of big assets, especially the DC. So whoever owns Warner Brothers is going to be gaining all those assets, just like Disney bought Fox a couple of years ago, and that obviously has aided huge to Marvel. So I don't know, remains to be seen. But while I know we started talking about some DC stuff, but while we're talking about movie theater stuff, since there's not too much to talk about, but I figured we could throw it in here. A couple of re-releases announced over the last week, like 3 big re-releases for the next 2 years in movie theaters, which, I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm interested in going to see all of these, unless somebody's movie theater etiquette is just horrible that I'm walking out. But starts in January, this coming January, as in next month, Lord of the Rings Extended Editions being re-released. And this is, I looked it up. It's D-Box presentation, which I didn't even know what that meant. But it's an immersive movie theater experience where it's like the seats are programmed to vibrate and they rumble in sync with on-screen action. Like, I guess one of those things. That's what it is.
That's really cool.
But that's the weekend of January 16th through the 18th, I assume, at select theaters. And then you get the standard formats of the extended editions of Lord of the Rings, January 23rd, 24th, and 25th in theaters nationwide. A part of a 2-weekend event. I know you're a big Lord of the Rings girl, dude. My camera's moving. I thought I turned the tracking off.
It's okay.
Give me your thoughts while I fix this.
Oh, I'm going to be sad. Like, my mom immediately jumped on that when she heard the news, because I think she heard before me, and she texted me and she's like, we're going, right? And I was like, is it the extended edition? She's like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, then we're going, of course. We just didn't know if it was one of those, like Star Wars did, you sit down and you watch all 9 movies in a row.
I can't do that. It sounds cool,
and
but
if
it's
it was
too much.
that, then it's like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. Yeah, the Lord of the Rings extended editions have a very long run time. I don't know if I could sit through all 3 of those movies in a row in a movie theater. But since it's a 2-weekend event, maybe that means they're spreading them out. I don't know how they're doing it. But either way, I'm going to be sad. It really doesn't matter. We're going to go. Absolutely. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. So I'm going to be there.
The first weekend is the D-Box presentation, and then I guess the next weekend is where they are just nationwide and you get the standard edition. So I think if you're just going to see the regular ones, it's 23rd, 24th, 25th. That's your window.
Interesting.
And I don't know. I don't know if they're releasing like how Star Wars did, or if you just buy a ticket to one or something like that. But I don't know. My dad's a big Lord of the Rings guy too. He's honestly not huge on the extended editions. He watched them a couple of months ago. He's just like, it's fine, but it doesn't really add anything.
Yes, it does. No, I'm sorry, Mike. I love you.
I can get him
Mike,
in here right
that's an
now.
insane
I
thing
can get
to
him in
say.
here right now.
No,
Yo,
please
your
don't.
thoughts?
Mike, that's an insane thing to say. I know this because I've seen both versions. I recently went to see Return of the King in a live orchestra symphony in Orlando. It was beautiful, but it was not the extended edition. And I was like, oh my gosh, the extended edition adds so much context to what's going on. Like a lot of scenes don't make as much sense without all the extended stuff cut out. It just doesn't make sense.
I'll need to
It
get his
doesn't
more
flow.
detailed thoughts eventually.
Okay. Well, the movies don't flow as seamlessly without the scenes from the extended edition. So I think it's a little bit crazy to say. I think it's a pretty universal opinion that the extended edition of Lord of the Rings is peak. So I will absolutely be there. Huge Lord of the Rings
listen,
girl.
we're interested. We're gonna try to make it that weekend.
Have you seen them?
I've only ever seen bits and pieces of both
So
Lord of the
no.
Rings and the Hobbits. Honestly, I've watched a good chunk. Like literally, like my dad's watched literally a couple months ago. He ran through all 6 movies. I think I watched half of I don't know which one it was. Like I just sat there and watched it. No, so like I've seen some, but not.
The answer is no.
Well, I was just giving you a little background of what I have and haven't seen.
It's just a crazy thing. I shouldn't be surprised though, because Noah hasn't seen a lot of stuff, and Noah is working his way through a lot of things. A lot of people know this already. Lord of the Rings is one of those things that you have to get to because that's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Listen, dude,
Crazy.
I've been busy, dude. I was catching up on Daredevil, then I had to rewatch Stranger Things. Now I'm gonna start Daredevil season 3 again. Now that I can, because Stranger Things is I'm all caught up on that, obviously, until the new stuff comes out. But we're getting there. We're getting there.
Lord of the Rings is more peak than all of those things. It's better than Stranger Things. It's better than anything Marvel's ever put out. It's better than anything Star Wars. I'm telling you,
Dang.
Lord of the Rings is the best trilogy of all time. I'm not even kidding.
Lord of the Rings is better than X-Men 97?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Dang. I knew you were a big Lord of the Rings fan, but I didn't know you were like, I'll take this over the entire Marvel brand.
It is just unbelievable. Like, it's better.
You taking it over all Star Wars?
Yeah, 100%. Like, the Lord of the Rings trilogy is better than the Star Wars original trilogy, which I think I've said before. But
so, would you consider yourself a bigger Lord of the Rings fan?
No.
Or you just acknowledge that you think they're better?
Yes,
because those are two different things.
Better. Yeah,
okay,
I'm not a
fair.
bigger Lord of the Rings fan than I am Star Wars fan or a Marvel fan, but I am a huge Lord of the Rings fan. Like, it's so good, but I don't know every little piece of lore about Lord of the Rings the way that I'm very, very much invested in Marvel and Star Wars. Like, not to that extent. I was about to say,
I've seen that shelf behind you a lot. I don't see one Frodo Baggins Funko Pop anywhere.
That's such a lie, because I used to have Treebeard with Merry and Pippin on him.
He got cut?
But I moved it to my living room display.
Living room display. You got upgraded, as a matter of fact.
I moved it to the living room display where everyone can see that one. Yeah.
Well, I guess your hype for the other 2 re-releases just isn't going to be as big. But next September, in anticipation for Avengers Doomsday, which, man, I'm just getting goosies thinking about. Avengers Endgame going to be back in theaters next September, and people are rumoring it, but I think a lot of people are just assuming it. They're releasing it so close to Doomsday. A lot of people talking about how Doomsday is going to be, or what am I trying to say? How Doomsday, is going to be more of a direct sequel to Endgame than anything else. Not saying they're going to ignore the last 2 phases, but there's just a lot of Endgame fallout you're going to see. They're probably going to add a post-credit scene to this Avengers Endgame re-release.
I don't think so.
No, I think they will.
I don't think so.
There's no post-credit scene in Endgame. They're going to give you just a little something, just to get you hyped a little bit more for Doomsday.
I really don't think they add anything to a movie that has already released. No, I don't think so. I don't think they do that. And I do think that obviously the plot of Doomsday is going to heavily rely on the fallout of what happened in Endgame, but I do not think that they're going to add anything to Endgame.
They're not adding anything to the movie. It's a post-credit scene if they did anything.
I don't think they're going to do that. I really don't.
You know,
I do think that Doomsday, like the opening sequence of Doomsday, is going to pick up like possibly immediately where Endgame left off, with maybe Cap going back and, you know, putting something like that, you know what I mean? Or it might pick off immediately where Fantastic Four's end credit scene left off. I don't know. Something like that. There's a lot of places where it can pick up. It can pick up right where Thunderbolts left off in the end credit scene. There's a lot of things they can do. But since they are re-releasing Endgame, I'm going to lean more towards it picking up right where Endgame left off. But I don't think they give us anything. I could be so wrong, and it'd be so cool if I am, but I don't think they do that. I really don't.
No, I think they do.
Okay.
Kevin Feige, the Russos especially, they're going all in on Doomsday. It is all hands on deck. There has been words online that this is going to be the most expensive promotional run that they ever do for a movie. They are about to do all they can to get butts in the seats next December. Rumors of 3 different trailers for week 1, week 2, and week 3 of Avatar Fire and Ash. Just a rumor. But there's rumors of that, and they're all going to connect. That's just a rumor. A lot of rumors. And I've been very intact with the Avengers Doomsday rumors because I'm hyped. And dare I say, more optimistic and excited about this movie than my co-host here. I gotta say, I think
so.
I am, dude. I don't know.
Think so.
You're a little bit more trepidatious about this movie, and I'm like, yo, I guarantee you this is going to go off, bro.
And I don't disagree with you. I just really hope it does. I'm cautiously optimistic. But I have no reason to believe that the Russo brothers and Kevin Feige are going to fail with this movie. But we don't know anything about it. So how can I not
we know something about it.
No, we don't. How can I not be a little bit... What are you talking about?
We know this lineup, bro. All-star lineup,
shut
dude.
Up. That's part of the reason why we have to be unsure about how it's going to go. That's way too big of a cast for it not to be a mess, Noah.
And guess what? That's not even all of it, I bet. They didn't even announce Steve Rogers.
You are so blinded by your hype for this movie that you don't think that they might make it a little bit messy. Endgame didn't have as big of a cast as Doomsday does, and Endgame was a mess for the most part.
Listen, we've talked about this before. I think there's a chance all those X-Men that they revealed, maybe
die in the first 5 minutes.
No, 1 or 2 scenes maybe pop up at the end.
Right.
Like, they've announced a lot of names, but that doesn't mean they're all going to be pivotal parts in this movie.
I agree with you, but it could also just be a cameo fest. You don't know. You really don't know.
The Russos have yet to fail me, brother.
That's what I just said, and I think they got it. I really think they do. I think that they're going to do something that we're not even thinking of. I think they're going to do the unexpected, and
they're gonna.
I have no reason to believe that, but I am cautiously optimistic. That's what I am, because that we don't know anything about it. Maybe once we know a little bit more about the plot, then I'll be like, okay, I can see where they're going with this. But we know nothing, and this is an Avengers movie, and we have no build up for it. That's where I'll leave you.
So you don't want to talk about Sadie Sink being Jean Grey right now, or?
Oh my gosh! If she's Jean,
I'll sell you on it. I'll sell you on it.
I don't care.
One more re-release that's really not too much to talk about, and I don't even know why they put this out already, because it's the 50th anniversary of Star Wars A New Hope being re-released in its original format, I believe, in February 19th of 2027, which we know that's the next Star Wars celebration. It's 50 years of A New Hope, 50 years of Star Wars in 2027.
We're talking about a re-release in 2027?
Well, that's why I'm like, I don't know why they announced it yet, but they did.
Yeah.
They literally just announced it the other day, so.
That's really silly. So we're talking about, when they say its original format, are they talking about like Jabba the Hutt was actually a man?
Well, like I don't think that, but like, I'm assuming not.
Well, what does original format mean?
Listen, I'll get the details for you. I just know it's coming back to theaters in 2027, cool. 2 months before Celebration in Los Angeles, which maybe we'll attend if we can financially afford it. We'll see.
I plan to be there.
Support the podcast, guys.
Get us there. I would love to be at Star Wars Celebration. Neither of us have been to a Star Wars Celebration, but the plan is to be there in 2027. Mine is. I don't know about Noah, but.
I don't know. You guys take me as a California goer?
No. No. Not at all.
We will, you want to talk about the trailers, or you want to hit some of this casting news?
We need to talk about Supergirl.
Alright, well, let's just jump right into it. That was like one of the big things this week, so I don't know if you want to save that for the main event or not.
No, I think we gotta talk about Supergirl at this point.
Alright. We know, June 26, 2026, we are getting the Supergirl movie. We officially got our first trailer today. I'll be honest, they didn't give us too much story-wise, which is fine. It's the first trailer. We still have 6 months to go. We know that Jason Momoa is going to be playing Lobo in this movie, and even that, you only saw him for like a second.
Half a second, if
Like,
even.
yeah, I know
can't
people are
even
like
fully see his
screenshotting it,
face.
brightening it on Photoshop and posting it. So, I mean, he looks cool from the little bit we saw, but you really didn't get too much. My biggest takeaway from this trailer is that, what's the actress's name? I'm sorry.
Millie Alcox.
Yeah, my biggest takeaway from this trailer is Millie is seems like she's on the verge of breaking down in tears almost the whole movie. Not in her eyes, but just in her words, and her her actions, all that
by
stuff.
By the way, I said Cox. That's my bad. Millie Alcock. Okay, keep going.
There you go. But she's just got that vibe about her the whole trailer.
Yeah.
And then the song that they put over top of it, completely different vibe. Like, it feels so Guardians of the Galaxy, which James Gunn's not even directing this thing. But obviously, he's one of the head guys at DC, so he still has his hand in there. And I'm not even complaining about the Guardians feel. Superman had a Guardians feel. This, so far, this first trailer, and maybe my opinion will change when we see more, feels like even more Guardians. And with one scene that we saw in this trailer specifically, I'm like, if this brings Guardians 3 vibes, I'm going to be a little upset.
Yeah, and I understand why people wouldn't want that. But part of me is also like, it having Guardians vibes isn't a bad thing, but also you don't want a DC movie to feel like a carbon copy of a Marvel movie. I don't think that's good for the brand.
You don't want DC to become Marvel Light.
No, you want them to stay separate. And I understand it's like, hey, they're both superhero movies. They're sometimes going to have the same vibe. And I get that. Like, is a superhero movie like Superman gives you a lot of hope. And Captain America standalone can give you a lot of hope. Like, that kind of vibe, feeling similar, is way different than it looking exactly like a Guardians of the Galaxy film, which honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it really does. It really does.
The song over top, especially, I can't remember the name of the song off the top of my head, but I was just like, is this Guardians 4? Like, yeah.
And I don't remember the name of that song either, but I mean, James Gunn is always flexing his music knowledge in every film, not just Guardians, but also Superman and now Supergirl. We knew that was coming. I mean, she's had a Walkman on in like every promotional photo that has come out for this movie. So we're always going to have something based around music. Yeah. And the Walkman alone is another thing. But like, I don't think that just because she carries a Walkman, I don't think it's like, oh, they're just redoing Guardians. Like, no, I don't think that's the case.
And we're obviously referring to the fact that Peter Quill, the first time you see him in Guardians 1, is jamming out on his Walkman. That's what we're referring to here.
Yes,
just so anybody lost.
But I don't think it's a bad thing that it has Guardians vibes. I think it is going to set itself apart in a lot of ways. I think that it's going to be heavier. If we're just comparing it to Guardians 1, I think it's going to have a heavier tone than Guardians does. Like you said, she's clearly carrying a lot of sadness and she's carrying a lot from the destruction of Krypton. So I think it's gonna have a very different feel from Superman. And like she said, like that was a big, amazing quote when she was like, "What's Superman like?" And she said, "She sees the good in everyone, but I see the truth. He sees the good in everyone, but I see the truth." That's a great line, and I loved that. And it just tells you like this is gonna be different than what we got with Superman, and it makes me excited.
Visually, it definitely looks different. Superman was very bright, very colorful, which I loved, by the way. I don't want to say I hate movies that are so desolate, but sometimes it just gets boring and it depends. It depends. Like superhero
I have said
movies,
before that I hate that.
It bothers me. But like if I'm watching, I don't even know a good example.
Like Oppenheimer. Like
like I'm not expecting that to have rainbow colors. Like that's what I mean. But Superman was very refreshing, and then like even a couple weeks later we got Fantastic Four, and it was like, I love it. Love when my superhero movies are like that.
That we're leaning into comic accurate things like that. Yeah.
Exactly. This is comic book movies, and I feel like there was a time when everybody making these movies forgot about that.
And dole out the color grading and the suits being more realistic and practical than they are. Yawn, give me what we love.
Get out of here, Fox.
Yeah, exactly.
But Zack Snyder, looking at you. But yeah, visually this looked great. The trailer looked great. I had a point I was gonna make about something, but then we started talking about the color schemes and comic book suits, and I forgot. Damn it!
Guardians and the back and forth. It looks like it's gonna be a different vibe than Superman. We just got to see. I think it's gonna be great. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, but it also looks like it's going to pull at our
Oh,
heartstrings a lot, which is
yeah, dude. So
exciting.
apparently, this movie is based off Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow comic, which I think was like the first thing when they revealed Millie was playing Supergirl. That's like the picture of her sitting on the couch and she's reading the comic or something. That I think was way before even like Superman came out, obviously, because she made an appearance in that movie. But I guess in that comic, Crypto dies.
Aww.
So I think they're doing a 1-to-1 here, and I think Crypto might be dying in this movie, and that's why I've seen some people say it's giving Guardians 3 vibes, and I'm like, oh man.
That's sad.
And we talked about before, like, dude, that's my least favorite part about Guardians 3. We could do people getting beat up all day, but the second you get to animal stuff, I'm done. I don't want to watch it anymore. That's why I won't rewatch Guardians 3. So, like, now I'm going to have to go into Supergirl. At least I'll have the expectation that this dog's dying. Yeah. But, like, I don't know. It sucks, man. I hate that.
Yeah.
It's probably great for the story. I'm just being a baby, but, you know.
He might be. He might be a baby, but that's, you know, regardless. Part of me, when I saw in the beginning of the trailer that Crypto isn't just going to be, like, kind of there, but he's going to be a huge part of the movie, just like he was in Superman, I was like, oh no, are we doing too much with the Crypto branding? You know what I mean? But it is her dog. So, like, I get it. But I was like, man, is Crypto going to be, like, a problem in the movie? Like, he was kind of like a nuisance to Superman, like that. It could get repetitive, it can get kind of annoying.
Sure.
So I was like, oh no, but that would be a fun and different vibe. I don't know, maybe we'll see
fun
some
and different vibe. Him dying? You're a rat bastard.
No, of him, like a fun and different vibe. If he's like a learning and growing, getting a little better at obedience, he might go through some.
Well, I mean, he probably listens to her a little bit more.
We'll see. I don't know.
First shot of the trailer, he's pissing on a newspaper that says Superman like saved the city from a nuclear attack or some shit. I don't even know. I only watched the trailer twice.
You got most of it on the paper this time.
Good job. So I like the trailer, but again, there's not too much to break down here. I'm hoping we get another one, maybe Super Bowl time, February. That's what I'm thinking. We might get a Spider-Man one too.
Yeah.
That's like, I think that's best case scenario, because that'd be like 5 months out. You know, not to get getting our speculation on Spider-Man or anything.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking about it and I was like, why do we believe so much that the Doomsday trailer is the only Marvel trailer that will come out around for Avatar Fire and Ash, and not the movie that comes out before it, which is Spider-Man Brand New Day? Why are we just completely skipping over Spider-Man Brand New Day?
I'd assume because, one, Avengers is just a bigger deal. Like it is. It's Avengers Doomsday with RDJ in it. And two,
but are we forgetting about Spider-Man Brand New Day?
No, but I don't think you're going to drop 2 trailers so close to each other for 2 separate movies. So,
they
like,
gotta start
Doomsday in December.
Spider-Man Brand New Day at some point.
Yeah, dude, listen, it's a Spider-Man movie with Hulk and Punisher, and Sadie Sink is somebody. Like, it's gonna be
Jean Grey, apparently.
You're damn right, it's Jean Grey. Yo, I'll bet the house on it at this point, dude.
Okay.
What was I gonna say? But dude, yeah, give me like Spider-Man like February. Listen, it's a Spider-Man movie. It only needs so much promotion, dude. Let's be real.
Okay.
They're going all what? That's a bad idea. Spider-Man trailer in February.
That's a little late, but okay.
The movie doesn't come out to the end of July. And if they're doing Doomsday,
but
like,
Supergirl comes
week,
out in
possibly.
June, and we just got the trailer. Like you said, 6 months out. So to release the Spider-Man trailer 4 months out would be insane.
That's DC though. They're rocking a different
5 months.
They're steering a different ship over there.
Whatever.
Marvel's like, yo, Avengers is. They're building the WrestleMania a year earlier. That's what they're doing. They just announced John Cena versus The Rock 1 year out, and then they're gonna come around and start building, SummerSlam, which is Spider-Man. All right, there's your wrestling reference for the day. All right, guys.
Written in stars.
Oh, dude, WrestleMania 27, terrible WrestleMania peak theme song. Great logo.
It was not a terrible WrestleMania.
Take Undertaker or Triple H off that card. Pretty forgettable.
But why are you taking them off the card? Like, if you had to take them off the card, then maybe it wasn't.
That's the only saving grace about WrestleMania 27. They had the fucking Miz in the main event.
What's wrong with that, huh? It has to be John Cena in every main event for it to be good, Noah Nation?
John Cena was in the main event, you knucklehead.
I thought The Rock and John Cena was their own fight.
Yeah, the year after when you attended. You were in Atlanta for
when
27.
That's when Written in the Stars was the theme song.
WrestleMania 27 in 2011, Written in the Stars, right? The Rock came back for first time in so many years to the WWE 2 months prior. WrestleMania 27, The Miz defends the WWE title against John Cena.
The one I'm thinking of is Voices in the Air or something like that.
That's Invincible. That's Invincible the year later.
Okay.
That video package, oh my god, I can run through a brick wall after watching that John Cena thing, dude. I fucking love that song.
That's the WrestleMania I was at. Okay.
That's the one you're at.
We should definitely move on.
Anyway, no, we can talk about John Cena's last match if you want to. We'll say that for the end. Anyways, we also got another trailer this week. Avatar the Last Airbender live action season 2 on Netflix. We don't know having a. I completely butchered that whole thing. I was like, well, we don't have a fucking. I'm jumbling over my words. Yeah, but when we go to clip this out, it's gonna sound like shit. I'm not cutting this out of the thing. I'll let everybody laugh at it on YouTube. Yeah,
the Avatar the Last Airbender season 2 trailer released yesterday, and I'm not gonna lie, it looks better than the first season already. For me, I have openly said that I don't enjoy the first season of Avatar the Last Airbender. They took a lot of good arcs from the original cartoon and smushed them together so that they could fit the stupid 6 to 8 episode format that we get in Disney and Netflix. And I think that hurt the story. Of course it hurt the story. If you change anything about Avatar the Last Airbender, which is a perfect story, you're gonna hurt it. Any changes like that are gonna hurt it. But I understand that it's not good to also make a one-to-one kind of remake. And there are some things they changed and some things I really didn't like. I didn't like smushing stories together and changing things like that. I didn't like that they didn't give Katara her same personality. They gave her little to no personality, which I really did not enjoy. They made her a very timid person in the live action when she's supposed to be a kind of a bossy and
one of the biggest criticisms of season 1.
She has an attitude and she's a very strong personality, and they miss out on that completely in the writing, and that's something I didn't enjoy. But I do think the bending and the effects looked amazing in the first season, which is a huge step forward for live action Avatar the Last Airbender. But it's very, very hard for me to even get through the show. I'm still trying to get through the first season. It loses me so much. I have not finished the first season in its entirety, but the second season trailer so far, obviously it's a very short
It's like a minute 20.
But I think it looks better. Something about it just looks better. And I would hope so, because they probably got a little bit more budget. They got greenlit because it was successful enough in the first season. They saw, there's always
hopefully
growing
took
pains
fan
with new
feedback.
things. Yes. They got the feedback, so hopefully we're gonna get a little bit more. I hope it's not only 8 episodes or whatever it was. Again, like, spread it out. Give me 10, give me 12. Then you have some more room to develop the plot. But, I mean, did you see how much older Gordon looks? That's the name of the actor.
Dude.
Yeah.
Aang went from looking like Aang to looking like, what's-his-face? The oldest one.
Tenzin? His son?
Maybe? No. What's his name? The oldest. You go on.
The oldest what? The oldest what?
I gotta look it up. Hold on.
I'll tell you.
I want to find it.
Okay. Well, I think it looks like it's going to be better. I don't want to write it off until we see it, but I think it looks amazing, and I can't skip over that the actress for Toph looks unbelievable. I'm so excited. That's what I just said.
Was it?
I said, is it Monk Gyatso? And you just didn't answer me.
Oh.
Monk Gyatso. I don't think he looks like an old man, but he looks significantly older.
No shit, but it's the joke. Because he looks significantly older.
Very funny. But I don't want to skip over the fact that the actress for Toph looks amazing. We only got a little bit of a snippet from her and a couple of promotional set photos, and they look unbelievable. I think she's going to add so much to the dynamic of the original team, just like she does in the original cartoon. But this team needed some work. Yeah, it really did in the live action. So I'm excited to see their dynamic with her added. Toph is a fan favorite character, and I love her, so I can't wait to see that. But yeah,
the effects when Toph puts her foot down on the ground and you see it go to black and everything kind
Yeah,
of
the
goes like
seismic,
this or whatever.
the seismic.
Very nice, very nice.
Gosh, what's
We're
it
right
called?
here. We don't have it up here, but we're right here. I know what you're
No,
talking
hang
about.
on. It's seismic sense. That's what it's called. It's seismic sense. How she feels the ground because she's blind. Whatever. It does look great. I like that they added that so that just like in the cartoon, we can see that that's what she's doing. But yeah, Gordon does look older. That's the actor that plays Aang. He obviously looks older because when they film things like that, they have to wait for it to get greenlit. They can't just film back to back until it gets greenlit. So obviously he looks a little bit older. There's no significant age change like that we see in the other actors. It's really just Gordon because he was a very young boy in the first season, and now he's a little bit older in puberty. When it hits guys, it hits them pretty hard.
He's pretty tall now.
He's pretty tall. Like and obviously that does not bother me. There are some things that you can do in the cartoon and some things you just can't avoid in live action, and that's
the same
totally
thing we
fine.
talked about with Stranger Things last week. It's like, it might take you back for a second when you start to see all these kids getting older, but what are you gonna do?
That's a bad comparison. No,
what are they gonna do? They're older.
I don't know. Maybe not wait 5 years in between seasons, Noah. That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous comparison.
They looked older in season 4.
I know, because it took them like 3 or 4 years in between season 2 and 3 or 3 and 4.
One of those years you have to ixnay because of COVID.
Different. That is completely different.
One of those years you have to ixnay because of COVID, and then every season was every other year.
No, it wasn't.
Up until now.
No, it wasn't.
2015, 2017, 2019.
That's 2 years in between each season. It was 2 years between 2 and 3, and then 3 years between 3 and 4, and then what?
Yeah,
another 3 years between 4 and 5?
Well, 4 and 5, I don't even know what happened there. I don't know. They must have been spending too much time drawing the CGI on the upside down.
That the Stranger Things drew out there. You can't now say that the Stranger Things seasons, like, oh, it makes sense that it took them that long.
I'm not saying it makes sense. I'm saying it makes sense why the actors look older. Because they got older. I can't be mad at them for looking older, just like I can't get mad at Aang looking older.
A big part of that is their fault, though. This is not their fault for Aang and Avatar the Last Airbender. They had to wait for it to get greenlit for him to start filming again. They didn't wait 3 years to make the movie again, like to make a new show, Noah. That's insane.
Positive, though. On a side note, I'm pretty sure I read somewhere, and maybe this is common knowledge, maybe you already know this, that I think they filmed season 2 and 3 of this show back to back.
They did. Yep.
So hopefully, this is the last of the big changes.
I'm pretty sure they wrapped season 3 already. So yeah, and that's
oh really? I didn't know all that.
See, once they got greenlit for season 2 and 3, which happened pretty close together, they filmed back to back, and I'm pretty sure season 3 is already wrapped. I think they made a post about that, which is very exciting. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do, Stranger Things. What is the deal with that? But, I care way more about Avatar the Last Airbender than I do about Stranger Things, so that's okay with me.
Yeah, but you like Stranger Things more as a show compared to this live-action Avatar.
Yeah, but I like the cartoon Avatar the Last Airbender more than I like Stranger Things.
Well, sure, but we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about the live action.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying.
Well,
but yeah, it looks good though, and I'm excited for it. I'm gonna get excited for it every single time. Listen, we already got long-haired Zuko in season 2 instead of waiting until season 3. Like in season 2 in the cartoon, it's kind of like a buzzed look with a little, it like grows a little bit throughout season 2. But we've already got like the long shaggy hair on.
Well,
on
they're jumping around, not jumping around, but they're compressing
and
stories a little bit. And the scar
looks better. I have to say, the scar looked better in the scene that I saw. And the scar looked pretty bad in season 1. I did not like the way they did the scar, but I think it looks better in this trailer that we saw for season 2. So
you're going to finish season 1 before this comes out, I assume. You're at least give it the shot, watch it.
Yeah. I have been giving it a shot. It's been a hard shot.
I'm trying my best, man.
Difficult.
Shit. But yeah, that's all. You have anything else to say about Avatar The Last Airbender?
I don't.
All right. Well, we'll jump right into this because we're talking about Stranger Things anyway. Speaking of actors, what's her name? Nell Fisher?
Yeah.
Nell Fisher, who plays Holly on Stranger Things this season, Stranger Things season 5, is rumored to be casted as Reed and Sue's daughter, Valeria, in the Fantastic Four sequel.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to get your thoughts on that, which is probably, obviously, that doesn't mean anything for Doomsday or Secret Wars, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
But going back to the summer, there was already some talks about a Fantastic Four sequel coming out after Secret Wars. So, maybe 2028 or something like that, which,
Yeah.
hopefully means they're all going to survive. I'm looking
Hopefully
at you,
means they're all
Johnny.
gonna be okay.
But
Please, Johnny.
and they kind of added some fuel to the fire because I think Vanessa Kirby was legit pregnant during filming Doomsday, and there's talks about they might have just ran with it.
She wasn't. She was fake pregnant when Doomsday. Yeah, she was real pregnant when filming Doomsday.
Not Fantastic Four.
Sorry.
Not,
you're right.
Not First Steps. Talking about Doomsday, but people are assuming that Marvel might have just went, well, we were gonna kind of do Valyria eventually anyway, so maybe this kind of benefits. And I really, it's not necessarily the story, because I don't think either of us are sit here and act like we know all this Valyria lore from comic books or anything like that. But another Stranger Things actor possibly getting casted in Marvel is pretty interesting, and I'll be honest, I don't know much about anything else that Neil Fisher has done outside of Stranger Things, obviously, but she's been fine in the first 4 episodes. I like her.
Yeah. I think she's doing well in Stranger Things. I know before I said that, like, her age kind of is weird to me because she looks significantly older than she obviously did in season 4, but that has nothing to do with her performance. Like, I think she's doing very well. So that's exciting. Dude, when these young actors get booked, they get booked back to back to back. Like, they get booked and busy. Like, another one I think about is Ariana Greenblatt. She was booked in Avengers Infinity War. And then she was like, okay, now I'm young Ahsoka. Okay, now I'm going to be in that movie that was about that game. I forget it. The one with Jamie Lee Curtis and
I feel
Jack
like
Black
I know what you're talking about, but I can't. Jack Black?
Yeah, Jack Black's the voice of one of the robots, and then Kevin Hart is also in it. I just forget the name of it.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Borderlands. Ha!
Borderlands.
Okay. Yes, she's in
Never
that.
Played.
She's in the Barbie movie. She gets booked. Like, she's booked and busy. So maybe that's happened for little Miss Nell, and that's a great thing.
My thing is, didn't we look this up like last week? Was she 10 in real life?
No, she's 14 in real life. She's
playing a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
So, like, if she's rumored to be the daughter of Reed and Sue, then I assume they're gonna have to be picking her up in some other universe or Earth in the next 2 movies.
Unless we're getting another significant time jump, which would suck.
That's a big time jump.
That's a big time jump.
From Secret Wars to the next Fantastic Four, it's been 14 years or something like that. Yeah. So, just like I was talking about the other week when I'm like, Sadie Sink Jean Grey might be the Jean Grey that we now pick up from some other Earth. I'm not letting it go. There's fuel to that fire, and until Marvel puts it out themselves, I will not let it go. But the reason I say that is just because, we don't know what's going to happen in these next couple of movies. Incursions, Earth's coming together. I don't know where this variant of Valyria is going to come from, but I assume it can't just be Reed and Sue happen to have, you know what I'm trying to say? Like a kid during Doomsday and Secret Wars, and then all of a sudden she's 10 or 14 or whatever.
I understand. Yeah. I don't know how they're going to do it either, but we'll see.
Oh, no. There's some Hunger Games news that came out last night, I believe. This is your field.
Yeah, it's my field because Noah hasn't seen any of them and he hasn't read the books. So,
no shot I'm reading those books, dude.
Yesterday, The Hollywood Reporter, and after The Hollywood Reporter confirmed it, multiple other sources, Variety, everybody was reporting it. So it has been confirmed that Jennifer Lawrence and Josh Hutcherson are going to be reprising their roles as Katniss and Peeta in the new Hunger Games movie Sunrise on the Reaping, which releases next November, which is about Haymitch's games. And if you read the books, you know why they are confirmed. Everyone was wondering if I can spoil it for you if you want, but Parker doesn't want me to tell him anything about the book because he wants to be surprised about it in the movie. So some people may feel that way, but I'm going to say spoilers for what I'm about to tell Noah. So if you don't want to hear this, skip 30 seconds forward or whatever. There is an epilogue in Sunrise on the Reaping, the book. And it is a jump forward to after everything that happened to Haymitch. It's a jump forward to after the final book it's after Mockingjay, which is the final book. So it's after everything that happened to Katniss and Peeta. And Haymitch, Katniss, Peeta, they're all living together in the aftermath of everything in District 12. And it's a whole epilogue of Haymitch has actually been telling his story to Katniss and Peeta the whole time. Like, that's what we learned from the epilogue. That was him telling them what happened to him in his games and everything, because they never knew until then. So there's a whole epilogue about it. I won't tell you everything that happens in the epilogue, but that's why. So everyone was wondering
How interesting.
if they were going to, do the epilogue in this movie that's coming out. And it turns out that they are, which is very exciting because everyone's been wanting to see them in that role again. But it's been 10 years since we've seen them play those roles. And Josh Hutcherson and Jennifer Lawrence are so amazing and they have such great chemistry together. So it's going to be so cool to see them. And that means Woody Harrelson's going to be coming back too, which is exciting. So, oh my gosh, to see those three again in a Hunger Games movie, we are just going to be fed. And it adds into me saying this is going to be, and it is my most anticipated movie of 2026 still. So no, it was number two. And it just feeds into it. I'm like, man, I'm so excited for this movie. It's going to be so good. So I cannot wait. It's number two. I'm not saying it's more anticipated than Doomsday. That's my bad. I forgot about my original list. So yeah, it doesn't knock Doomsday out of its top spot. So
nope.
Yeah, that's very exciting. Very excited for everybody. So
Dr. Doom.
Noah has no thoughts on that, by the way. He has no thoughts about the Hunger Games because he hasn't seen it.
No. But
He'll get there.
Look at me. Consider it. I'm like, I don't care about the Hunger Games, but she does. Let me throw it in the notes. Come on now.
Because everyone but you cares about the Hunger Games.
Everybody, come on.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah.
All right, everybody
watching. You know the chokehold that had on young adults.
Listen, I remember the girl he's talking about it in high school, dude. I remember, dude.
Come on.
Everyone being like, I love Katniss. I was like, I don't know.
Katniss.
I was like, I don't know who that is.
Team Peeta.
Team Peeta? Like, never mind. Whatever. Hunger Games, woo! Matthew Lillard casted as a character Mr. Charles, Daredevil Born Again Season 2.
Yes, and we knew that he was going to be in Daredevil Born Again Season 2. We just didn't know what the role was, and he did say it is going to be an antagonist named Mr. Charles. Now, I haven't read any Daredevil comics, so I do not know what character this could be. Maybe you guys, the listeners, can let us in on that knowledge. We don't got the comic book ball knowledge for this situation, so hopefully you guys can let us know who that could be, who you think he's playing. But he said that he had a lot of fun doing it, and I think it's going to be so cool to see Matthew Lillard in the Marvel universe. Like, what the heck? That's so cool.
Who said like last week that they don't like Matthew Lillard's acting?
Freaking Quentin Tarantino, who's just been on a roll of just being the worst guy ever. And Matthew Lillard literally said like that hurt his feelings, and I was like, Quentin Tarantino, when I find you, like I'm coming for you, bro.
I hope he just has
gory movies that. Never mind.
Yeah, shoot on him.
Yeah. Nobody likes them, okay? They're not as good as you think they are, okay?
Yeah.
Quentin.
How dare you talk about Shaggy like that, dude? I hope he comes out and has the greatest performance ever in Daredevil Born Again Season 2.
Never talk about Matthew Lillard like that again. He also had something to say about Owen Wilson as well, and I was like, excuse you? Do you know who that guy is? That's Lightning McQueen you're talking to, bro.
Dude, I love Tom Hiddleston's impersonation of Owen Wilson.
I haven't seen it.
He's done it on like a couple different talk shows and stuff. It's hilarious. He's just good at impressions in general. Anyway.
Yeah. Quentin Tarantino also said that Suzanne Collins, who's the author of The Hunger Games, ripped off like a completely different.
Oh, hit you where it hurt.
Like, come on, bro! Like, are you insane? I think this is just jealousy. The way he's just spewing out hate for other people. It's just like, dude, tell us who else you're jealous of, bro. Like, what is going on right now?
Or he just thinks this shit don't stink, so he's like, nobody could touch me. I'll say whatever I want.
That's a given, yeah. But hey, let me know when you're casted in something, Mr. Quentin. Then we'll go see it, and then we'll drag it, because it's probably not going to be good.
I don't think he's an actor.
He did try to get into acting, I'm pretty sure.
Did he? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he did, and it didn't work out.
Well,
I'm pretty sure he did. I know he's a wildly successful director, by the way, and I'm just me.
Yeah,
So it doesn't matter.
We're just being, just like he's a hater, we're being haters, dude. We ride with Matthew Lillard, bro. We ride with him.
I'm gonna ride with Matthew Lillard. Like,
hey, dude, what you know about Mr. Charles, dude? I don't know nothing, but I'm gonna in March or whatever when the show comes out
with that role than Quentin Tarantino ever could. So,
yeah, dude, I can't snap. Take it.
Is that insane? All right, we should.
You got anything else? I mean, that was all my notes this week.
Don't you have like a ranking that I haven't done yet? I thought you did.
No.
I really thought that you did.
That was
Hang on, would it be insane if the Doomsday trailer dropped while we were filming?
Well, that's not gonna happen.
You don't know that.
Listen, dude, I'll literally shat myself right here on screen.
You would get a live reaction. Like, I feel like that'd be so cool, though. Yeah,
I did just go on Twitter, and the first thing I saw is the first Avengers Doomsday trailer has received its rating in Brazil, signaling that a release is imminent. I've also heard that before. Once it starts getting rated in Brazil, China, this, that, and the third, that's basically them giving it the okay. So as you see that happening, it means it's getting closer to release, which probably means at this point, Avatar: Fire and Ash, 100%.
Yeah. Bro, that'd be so cool. I can't wait. I don't think there's anything else like significant, but
well, if you want me to wrap it up here, guys,
let me think.
We're filming this on Thursday.
Yeah.
We're 48 hours away from the retirement of the GOAT, the Never Seen 17, the franchise. John Cena, last match Saturday night.
I hit myself in the head.
It looked like it hurt, dude. I saw your eye twitch there. Dude. I just so took away all my steam. I
got a little bit excited.
Just smacked herself in the face, gave herself the 5-knuckle shuffle, dude. That's crazy. Oh, dude. Also, listen, guys, you know where I'm going to be on Saturday night. I'm going to be on that couch. I'm going to be watching the GOAT one more time.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna be a hell of a night. Honestly, stacked card. I mean, she'll probably, if I started naming the matches, she's probably like, I don't give a shit. But like us wrestling fans know Saturday night stacked card. Hey, listen, John Cena and Gunther. I wish there was more of a story, but the match itself will probably be great. A matchup that I literally called on a live stream a couple of weeks ago: AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus Javon Evans from NXT and TNA's Leon Slater, which is going to be phenomenal. They're going to be flying all around that ring. Bailey versus Sol Ruca from NXT, which should be solid. And then WWE Champion Cody Rhodes versus NXT Champion Ruler Obafemi. Going to be a future WrestleMania main event, guys. So, going to be a stacked night. Going to be a fun night Saturday. There's rumors that John Cena may have requested to open this show. And I'm like, John, I understand you're all about giving back to the business, but for the love of all that's mighty, can you just accept that this is your night and go on last? That's just me personally. If he goes on first, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to know it was Cena's decision, and how am I going to be mad at Cena's decision? He's so just like, yeah, put me on first, put Cody in the main event. I don't care. I get it, John. I get it. But whatever, dude. Only on Peacock, not on NBC or anything, so they got all the time in the world. There should be no reason to rush. I want a pre-match video package, hype it up John Cena's one last match. I want long, drawn-out entrances. I want a 30-minute banger between Cena and Gunther, and I want a nice aftermath where the locker room empties, just like they did in 2008, the night after WrestleMania 24 for Ric Flair. I want everybody out in that aisleway giving their respects as John Cena leaves his hat and shirt or whatever he's going to do in the ring and signs off. The GOAT. There'll never be another. But that's Saturday
night. And we'll talk about it. We'll talk about the match next week, yes?
Sure. Next week. Gonna be a big week, guys. It is the last episode before Christmas.
So it will be our Christmas episode. I just wanted to double
check that. Yeah, so it's going to be our Christmas episode. So the plan for next week, we've talked about this on podcast before, but we're going to do a Christmas movie tournament bracket. We're going to compile a list of, like, I don't know, maybe 16. I feel like we can fill up a list because 8's too small. 24 seems too much. 16 I think is fair. 16 movies probably. We're going to give them to somebody else, tell them to put them in a bracket, because if we do it, there's going to be favoritism in the bracket. You could set it up to kind of cheat. True. Yeah. So we'll give it to somebody else to put the bracket together, and then we're going to go through the bracket, and maybe we'll do some fancy editing for next week's episode. I'll put the bracket on screen or something. We'll talk about it then. But I'm looking forward to next week, and maybe we'll just talk about some, I don't know, Christmas memories or something opening gifts when we were kids. I don't know. It's gonna be a fun episode, dude.
It's gonna be a fun episode.
I gotta go buy a Santa hat or something, but that's gonna be next week.
Yeah,
really look forward.
Maybe we'll be in like Christmas PJs. It's gonna be very Christmassy. Okay, so if you're ready for the Christmas vibes, they will be here next week.
Oh yeah, and then the week after that will be Stranger Things Volume 2, which is gonna be sick. So a couple of big episodes coming up, guys. Be sure to subscribe to the Lightforce podcast here on YouTube if you haven't already. If you're listening on Apple and Spotify, be sure to follow us as well. And of course, go follow us on all social medias. Twitter. No, we're not on Twitter. What am I talking about? And I'm not setting one up either. Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Where can they find you?
You can find me everywhere at Laney Byers. That is on TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, Threads, YouTube at Laney Byers. I stream regularly on Twitch and YouTube. Shout out stream community. I can never forget you guys. And that is all I have.
And you guys can go follow me on social media at Noah Nation Vlogs on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And then you can go subscribe over on YouTube at Noah Nation Gaming. I believe that's all we got for this week's episode.
Mm-hmm.
So we sign off this week with one last salute.
Don't hit yourself.
Love you, John. There he is, dude. The goat. The goat. The goat. All right. Everybody relax. All right. See you guys next week. Ho, ho, ho. Christmas episode. Gonna be great.